The court has begun to question the Delhi police as to why it is not going ahead with prosecuting individuals who raised allegedly anti-national slogans in JNU. The police has said, we can't help it. The Kejriwal government hasn't given us sanction to go ahead and prosecute these individuals. In fact, the Delhi police has written a letter calling upon the Kejriwal government now to take a decision because the courts are losing their patience with the Delhi police. Now, Arvind Kejriwal had declared himself a nationalist ahead of the state elections. He's repeated that. But now his patriotism, his nationalism will be on test. Just days after winning the poll battle, Kejriwal government has been reminded of its duty to clear the prosecution files in the JNU sedition case. The Delhi police has written to the law department of the Kejriwal government, of the Delhi government, asking him to expedite the sanction process. And I want to quickly bring in Nikunj Garg, our internal security editor. Nikunj Garg, where does this story lie? Can the Kejriwal government refuse to give sanction? And if so, what happens next?
Well, Rahul, they certainly can. But for now, what is happening would be called by most neutral observers, forget about any partisan commentary here, most neutral observers would call it abdication of administrative responsibility by the state government, which has been constitutionally mandated. Its home department has been constitutionally mandated to grant sanctions, particularly in the cases like sedition and spreading hate between communities, 153 IPC. The state government can refuse, state government can decline the prosecution sanction. It won't be the first time. But not to grant the prosecution sanction and keep the file in abeyance is actually not doing injustice to all the individuals who are sought to being tried by the Delhi police, because remember, their reputation is being besmirched without a fair trial. So Delhi government is actually impinging on their rights for a free trial. The court will finally decide who is guilty, who is not. But it is the administrative constitutional responsibility incumbent on a state government for allowance of a free trial. That is not happening, and that's extremely unfortunate in a democracy.
Okay, just stay on with us. I'm going to include you in the panel, Nikunj. This is important. I want to bring in MC Abbas, political analyst, who is sympathetic to the Aam Aadmi Party's cause. He, in fact, was, if I'm not mistaken, a member of the Aam Aadmi Party in a previous avatar.
Contested election.
And contested election. Okay, MC Abbas, I just want to ask you, if Mr. Kejriwal truly believes that Kanhaiya Kumar and others are innocent, then why not allow for the court to certify that and restore the image and the reputation of Kanhaiya Kumar and Umar Khalid? That would be the easiest thing to do, wouldn't it? The case will collapse naturally if it is not strong, and these people will get a dignified acquittal rather than living under the constant taunt of being part of the Tukde Tukde gang. Why impede justice? Where is the justice in that?
Firstly, Rahul Shivshankar Sahab, the term Tukde Tukde gang does not exist. Saket Gokhale, I think he's proved it with the petition that he filed, and there is no such thing as Tukde Tukde gang. It's only a figment of imagination, and so on and so forth. Nevertheless, coming to this topic, I also know Kanhaiya Kumar on a personal level, and I can tell you on national television, he is the biggest Deshbhakt there can ever be. This is nothing but ABVP, Bharatiya Janata Party,
Pratibha Rani of the High Court cautioned in her order that Mr. Kanhaiya Kumar should not make any anti-national statements or actions on released on bail. Please quote him the judgment of Pratibha Rani.
Let him finish the point, please.
The judge of the High Court.
Let him finish the point, please.
Okay. Now, when it comes to
he hasn't been acquitted.
Respected, sir. Thank you very much.
Let him finish. Let him finish.
When it comes to Arvind
let him finish.
He's on bail for sedition.
Let him finish.
How can he be the biggest
Let him finish. Let him finish.
Is Mahatma Gandhi not a Deshbhakt?
Okay, can you allow him to finish?
Let me finish.
Okay, can you allow him to finish?
Let me finish. Okay, let me finish.
Yeah.
Thank you. I don't know why this Shehzad Poonawalla gets excited
Abbas,
every time
finish
he
your
sees
point.
me on TV.
Just finish your point, please.
Calm
now
down.
let's not
Secondly,
descend into this.
Now,
finish your
okay,
point. Yes.
Arvind Kejriwal. Arvind Kejriwal, I will tell you why Arvind Kejriwal does not need any test of Deshbhakti. He is the biggest Deshbhakt who can be because he speaks.
So this is not about Arvind Kejriwal. Please understand, this is about the reputations of two individuals who are constantly being dragged through the mud on a daily basis.
Best of calm.
Now you tell me, if you all are convinced that they are not guilty, then let the proceedings begin. Let the court also come to the same conclusion. What better way than to take on the BJP and tell them that they were wrong, or the ABVP or the central government?
Absolutely.
So why not? So why isn't Kejriwal doing it?
Rahul Shivshankar,
why have 5 reminders been sent to him and 6 letters been written to him?
Agree with
I'll tell you what the court said. The court, in fact, pulled up Mr. Kejriwal. And I want to bring in Nikunj. It said Delhi government must take a decision between 1 month. When did they say this? It said this in 2019. It said further proceedings in the case need to be done. Crucial judicial time being wasted in the case. Case repeatedly adjourned since filing of charge sheet. The charge sheet is filed. Prosecution sanction has not been given. So, Nikunj, why do you think the prosecution sanction has not been given?
Well, Rahul, as you said that, a reputation of individuals, a greater point of constitutional morality and constitutional responsibility is enjoined here. The fact is that state governments cannot, this will result in the collapse of a system. It is extremely unfortunate that the judicial magistrate is continually reminding the Home Department of a state government that take a decision. I do not want prosecution sanction from you. Decline the sanction. Court still retains the power of mounting a trial, allowing the trial to proceed as court's jurisdiction. But take a decision. Inform the court that we have declined the request of Delhi police. If that is not being done, that is constitutional impropriety, and that should not continue, because that then damages the entire structure.
Constitutional impropriety. That's what the Aam Aadmi Party is flirting with.
So, first thing first, it's very clear that the central government has been misusing the Delhi police to further its political agenda and to suppress voice of dissent, especially of the young educated class and the students. We saw it recently in Jamia also. In this particular case, it's actually the Delhi police which jumped the gun and filed the charge sheet without taking due clearance from the state government. The state government has been given this power just to rein in the high-handedness of the police. Otherwise, whatever the police says would have been okay
Amit
for the
Malviya,
courts.
quick response.
State government has this power
Quick
and
response,
this
Amit
constitutional
Malviya.
right to control this high-handedness.
Look, Rahul, very quickly, what happened on the JNU campus is widely known. It was widely reported, and everybody has seen the kind of seditious slogans that were raised on campus. Now, as far as the trial is concerned, the police is well within its right to file charge sheet. As per the process, the Delhi government has to provide its assent, but it is not necessary for it to do so. If it delays it beyond a point, the court has the power to sort of take it on the trial, as Nikunj just said on your program. Therefore, to avoid any kind of impropriety and to avoid any kind of clash between two agencies, it would only be proper that Arvind Kejriwal provides sanction for prosecution, and if the man is not guilty of anything, he will walk free with his head held high. And if they are worried that he is indeed guilty of what is being alleged, that could be the only reason why they are blocking this prosecution. But I guess law will catch up eventually, and Kejriwal is back for a second term. He would perhaps want to redeem his image as someone who's not obstructing law.
Okay, well, here is a golden opportunity to tell the people that the Aam Aadmi Party actually believes in upholding the law of the land. Now, if, and I want to ask you this before I move on, Nikunj, if the Aam Aadmi Party's government, the Delhi government, refuses to grant prosecution sanction, what happens?
Well, Rahul, the court still can allow for a trial to be mounted, and at a later date, court will decide whether these individuals can also be charged with the similar sections or different sections should be imposed. But none can stop the proceedings of a trial, even if the sanction is disallowed by the government.
Okay. Well, there you go, viewers. After a particular point in time, the court might just proceed suo motu. So if Arvind Kejriwal doesn't take a position, then we know that he is doing so for political reasons. I don't know what that does for his claim that he speaks for the national interest. That is for you to judge and decide. We need to move on. Now, just 3 days are left for President Trump of the United States of America to land in India. We are being told he will be here on Monday morning. But even before his visit, political mudslinging has touched a new low. In a shocking plot to equate India with China, a fake campaign has been launched by the opposition. Yes, a claim has been made that just like in China, where the over-hypersensitive state tries to hide its blemishes, the state government of Gujarat, perhaps under instructions from the center, is building a wall to hide some slums, which Mr. Trump will see on his way to the Sabarmati Ashram and, of course, to the Motera Stadium, where he will be joining Prime Minister Modi in a mass rally. But Times Now has fact-checked the plot by exposing that the so-called wall to hide poverty from the eyes of US President Trump was actually an exercise to stop illegal encroachment that has been going on for months altogether. Yes, all that has changed is that what was earlier a wire fence that was put up to ensure that the slum was not going to encroach on public land any further is being turned into a wall. That is all. Because the administration detected a few months ago that that particular fence was being clipped open constantly and had allowed individuals to annex more public land. So we decided to send our reporter there on the ground and ascertain the facts for ourselves. Because the Congress party has been constantly saying that the BJP is playing hide and seek with India's reality, that the wall is an attempt to hide the fact that the Modi government has not succeeded in lifting people out of poverty. Here is a report from the ground there. Listen in.
इस इलाके में 2 महीने पहले जब इस वीवीआईपी विजिट का कोई भी आयोजन नहीं था, कोई चर्चा नहीं थी, तब मैं स्वयं वहां गया। उसी समय ये निर्णय लिया गया कि एक दीवार वहां बनाई जाएगी ताकि अतिक्रमण स्पिल ओवर होकर फुटपाथ पर ना आए, रोड पर ना आए, ट्रैफिक को दिक्कत ना हो, और खास करके वहां रोड साइड प्लांटेशन काफी किया गया था, उसको पूरी तरीके से नुकसान पहुंच रहा था, वो ना पहुंचे।
You heard one of the top members of the Ahmedabad administration coming out with a point of view. We're going to now play out the report, the ground report filed by Kajal Iyer. Let's put that out.
Around 10-15 days ago is when the wall started being constructed, a half-a kilometer wall throughout the entire perimeter of this locality has been constructed, is what the locals say. And while they say that they do not have any objections to the wall per se, they're okay with it, but they're also saying that instead of constructing the wall and spending money on the wall, it would have been nice if their kacha houses could have been refurbished so that it would not be an eyesore for any international visit, because the way it has been presented to them, the construction of the wall has been presented to them, is that it is an eyesore to the Trump visit, and that is why it has been constructed. But the municipal commissioner disagrees with it. He says that it was not because it was an eyesore, it was only because there was encroachment that could be done further on this side, and that is why he wanted to prevent it, and so he constructed this wall, and he had given work orders 2 months ago, is what he claims.
Well, there you go. The order was given. Now, you know that no construction can take place without actually a tendering process. The tendering process began 2 months ago when no one knew that Trump was coming. In fact, Trump just confirmed that he was coming. It took everyone by surprise. Shraddha Poonawalla, everyone expected Donald Trump to actually come after his election, because by then the trade deal would be in place and there would actually be some movement forward for both the Prime Minister and the President to declare as a sign of improving ties.
Rahul, actually, I'm not surprised, even though we've got the clarification that was tendered earlier and this was to actually prevent encroachment. And see, you know, really, they could have avoided this entire route if they wanted to and taken a route which does not have any slums, right? I mean, how difficult is it for the Prime Minister and the President's cavalcade to take a route which doesn't have all these slums alongside it? But the point is that Congress is using in even an international visit of one of the most powerful leaders of the world to basically score domestic brownie points. Look at their politics. And listen, we don't need to show or hide slums for showing what happened in the last 70 years as far as poverty is concerned. Manrega is the biggest wall that actually shows off our poverty for the last 70 years. So we don't need to build any walls to hide it. Manrega is the bunyad and the proof of it.
Ashutosh, go ahead. Ashutosh wants to rebut. Yes, Ashutosh, go ahead.
Rahul, basically,
actually, just to add to what Shahzad was saying, this is a wall to hide the failure of the Gujarat model. Because it's the Gujarat model which was touted as bringing Achhe Din for India in 2014. So this wall is being built.
And Mr. Modi is a master in building. Are you hiding the Gujarat model? Is that what's really going on? Quick response. Let him respond. Let him respond.
Rahul, unlike the Congress,
walls were built here during the CWG games by Sheila Dikshit. That's a different matter. Two wrongs don't make a right. I want to bring in Amit Malviya. Amit Malviya, go ahead.
Look, unlike the Congress, the BJP is not in the habit of hawking India's poverty and standing with a begging bowl in front of the world. The BJP is dealing with the world on its own term. Mr. Modi has redefine India's foreign policy, and therefore to suggest that this wall is being built because we want to sort of hide something is far from the truth. The reality is that we can't allow any more public properties encroachment, and therefore this wall is being built.
Well, we'll be constantly battling this out, viewers. But look at the
just can't seem to digest it.
Okay, but look at the pettiness. We are now talking about a 100-meter wall. That is what this big summit meeting has come down to, a 100-meter wall.
That is what they want to do.
It's become an issue, a massive issue to define India's development. I don't know, but think for yourself. Has the opposition really run out of ideas? We leave it at that. Navika Kumar coming up on the News Hour tonight.